What's even more interesting is how Whoopi Goldberg, someone who is worth tens of millions of dollars, views herself as a working class American. Let's take a look.
Yeah, you work for a living, but you're not a working class American. There's a difference.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, it's just, look, my point is, you don't understand what it's like to be a struggling American who's concerned about their financial stability.
I work for a living. If I had all the money in the world, I would not be here. Okay? So I'm a working person.
Ana Kasparian, a prominent political commentator known for her sharp critiques and insightful commentary, has gained a strong following for her stance on various political issues. As a host of the Young Turks, she regularly challenges mainstream narratives and engages in thought-provoking debates, often advocating for progressive policies.
I told you last week I disagree with you when you say that because we have the luxury of saying that because we're legal, we are successful, but if you're an illegal immigrant in this country, you're not going to be not in a panic. If you are a woman working for the Department of Defense, you have a right to be in a panic.
Recently, Kasparian targeted Whoopi Goldberg, a well-known television personality and Hollywood icon, for her remarks on The View, of which Kasparian believes it illustrates a troubling disconnect between the media elite and the everyday struggles of working-class Americans.
There were millions and millions of people that felt heard, and that's what I'm trying to lock into. It won't change my stance, or maybe it will. I'm open to someone trying to convince me.
That Donald Trump is good for people?
If that's what you're hearing, you're missing my whole point.
I am. I appreciate that people are having a hard time. Me too.
Yeah.
I work for a living.
Whoopi Goldberg's comments about being a working-class American, despite her multi-million-dollar fortune and Hollywood career, have ignited widespread criticism. Kasparian didn't hold back in calling out Goldberg, highlighting the stark contrast between her lavish lifestyle and the reality faced by millions of Americans who are struggling to make ends meet.
Do you? All right, well, the ladies of The View are still trying to figure out what went wrong in the presidential election, with some still rejecting the idea that Democrats abandoning working class Americans certainly did not help their cause. Definitely hurt them in this election. What's even more interesting is how Whoopi Goldberg, someone who is worth tens of millions of dollars, views herself as a working class American. Let's take a look.
To Kasparian, Goldberg's claim to work for a living was nothing short of tone deaf. While Goldberg has undoubtedly worked hard throughout her career, Kasparian views her portrayal of herself as someone who can relate to the financial hardships of average Americans as not just misleading, but deeply insulting to those who are truly struggling.
You know, and my great-granddaughter has to be fed by her family. I know it's hard out there, but I also know that there are a lot of things that we just said, no, I'm just gonna go this way.
Right.
And a lot of that is also what happened. I love what she did, yay.
Goldberg's statements made on The View included her insistence that she works for a living and understands the difficulties of the working class. She acknowledged that people were having a hard time and seemed to position herself as one of them, saying that if she had all the money in the world, she wouldn't be working.
Yeah.
Who say this is what's bothering me. But the thing that's bothering everybody should not be the thing that puts 85% of other people in danger.
Yeah.
I think that's what we're saying.
Kasparian, however, took issue with this. You can't claim to be a working-class American when you live in multi-million-dollar homes and have decades of financial success behind you, Kasparian argued. This commentary highlights the growing divide between media elites like Goldberg and the ordinary citizens they claim to understand.
I think the 60% of Americans who are living paycheck to paycheck already feel that they have been in danger.
Yeah. So, but she knows, Anna.
Right,
she knows.
right.
Now, look, does she work for a living? Yeah, she does. She's a talk show host. That's.
The idea that Goldberg is in touch with the struggles of the working class was seen as a dismissal of the real issues faced by millions. Kasparian emphasized that while Goldberg does indeed work for a living, This work is in a context that is entirely different from the paycheck-to-paycheck reality of most American families.
And then I know your pain, etc., as if you're a person who isn't spectacularly wealthy. You have to at least acknowledge, look guys, I get it. I'm wealthy and I used to be poor, but I haven't been poor in a long, long time. But here's the ways that I could relate. Just be honest about it, no problem, right? But when you make it seem like you're barely getting by and you're worried about feeding your grandkids.
Come on.
Come on.
No, she made it seem like she's struggling and that she has no choice but to, really pick herself up every day and just head over to work, and it's like a lot of manual labor. Like the way she carried herself in that segment was ridiculous. And look, we don't know.
The type of work Goldberg does, hosting a talk show with a team of producers and assistants, is vastly different from the hard, manual labor or service industry jobs that many Americans rely on to survive. By equating her lifestyle with that of someone who is struggling financially, Goldberg is not only misrepresenting the struggles of average Americans, but also trivializing the very real economic pain felt by millions.
Exactly how much she's worth. I want to be clear about that. There are some articles that keep citing celebrity net worth, which makes me want to pull my hair out of my head.
Yeah, that's nonsense.
Guys, that's based on nothing. Like people who believe that.
Yeah.
Okay, so she's a private citizen. She's not a public employee. So her earnings are not public information, but we can put some bits and pieces of what's been reported in the past together to figure out.
Kasparian didn't stop at Goldberg's comments about being a working class person. She also took issue with the broader political implications of Goldberg's remarks. The View, as Kasparian pointed out, has become a platform where the panel often doubles down on liberal identity politics, ignoring the economic concerns of many working class Americans. Instead of addressing issues like stagnant wages, rising healthcare costs, and growing income inequality, the show's focus has increasingly been on divisive identity issues that don't reflect the day-to-day struggles of the average viewer.
Habit between an estimated $7 million and $12 million, making Goldberg the highest paid actress in Hollywood at the time. In 2007, she joined The View as moderator and panelist alongside creator Barbara Walters, Joy Behar, Sherry Shepard, and Elizabeth Hasselbeck. In a 2016 report from Variety, Goldberg's one-year contract was estimated to be worth between $5 million and $6 million.
The disconnect between Goldberg's portrayal of herself as a working class advocate and her actual lifestyle is part of a larger issue with media elites, who often live lives far removed from the reality of their audiences. This detachment is especially evident when celebrities or television personalities who enjoy immense wealth and success claim to speak for those facing financial hardship.
You work for a living, but you're not a working class American. There's a difference.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, it's just, look, my point is, you don't understand what it's like to be a struggling American who's concerned about.
Kasparian and others argue that this type of rhetoric is not only disingenuous, but harmful, as it fails to acknowledge the systemic issues that are at the root of financial struggles in America today. In fact, this disconnect between the media elite and everyday Americans has been a growing concern for some time. With many of the top media figures hailing from Ivy League background and wealthy families, there needs to be a more genuine understanding of the financial difficulties faced by ordinary citizens.
I mean, I get it that you have you have the former Trump people, etc. But there are now never Trumpers have flipped and are on your side, and they gently bring up some points that other people might be thinking, etc. And then everybody yells, etc. But have you really brought on like a right-wing populist to hash out the issues? No way. Do you accept criticism within the Democratic Party, let's say from progressives or populists?
Oh, definitely not.
Oh my God,
definitely
no way.
Kasparian also criticized the larger media ecosystem, noting that news organizations and talk shows like The View are often more focused on identity politics than on discussing the economic concerns of the average American. The media has been accused of creating an ideological echo chamber where diverse perspectives, especially conservative or populist views, are often silenced or ignored. This has become especially evident in the aftermath of elections, when the focus has shifted from addressing the mistakes made by political elites to maintaining the status quo.
We hadn't been covering The View all that much prior to the election because it got boring. It seemed like they mostly agreed on everything. But it is interesting to see how conflict has increased on that show following the outcome of the election.
The impact of this disconnection is not just limited to the political sphere. Kasparian argues that it erodes public trust in media institutions. When media elites fail to acknowledge their privilege and continue to push narratives that are out of touch with the concerns of everyday people, they lose their credibility. This issue is not just about politics or media personalities. It's about a larger societal problem. Kasparian pointed out that the focus on identity politics, while important, often overshadows the economic issues that are more pressing for most Americans. In a country where income inequality is growing, wages are stagnating, and healthcare costs are soaring, the media's failure to focus on these issues has left many people feeling unheard and unrepresented.
Because Sunny Hostin especially does not want to accept that Democrats lost due to the fact that they have abandoned the working class. She's like totally in la la land about it, and so is Whoopi Goldberg, but Sunny Hostin's on another level, okay? But anyway.
By failing to address the real struggles of working class Americans, media elites like Goldberg are only contributing to the sense of frustration and disenchantment that many people feel. Kasparian believes that the media must engage more deeply with the financial challenges faced by everyday citizens. They continue to alienate the audience and lose their credibility as legitimate sources of information and advocacy if they do.
Life Whoopi Goldberg lives and what average Americans are struggling with right now. So let's go to graphic 4 here. After landing her gig on The View, Goldberg relocated back to New York City, where she bought a full floor loft in Soho for $4 million.
Me too, she knows. She knows the working class.
She sold the 2-bedroom apartment in 2010 during the economic crash, of course, for just under $3 million, so she lost there. But in a search for more privacy, she moved to the New Jersey suburbs, purchasing a $2.8 million mansion in the gated community. Okay, so that's—
in New Jersey, $2.8 million will buy you a castle.
In the end, Anna Kasparian's criticism of Whoopi Goldberg highlights a growing problem in the media: the disconnect between the wealthy media elite and the working class public they claim to understand. What do you think about this issue? Do you agree with Kasparian's assessment, or do you think Goldberg's comments were misinterpreted? Let us know in the comments below. Remember to leave a like and subscribe to our channel if you found this content valuable. See you in the next video.